and costumes and
Oh, that was right. We're gonna do second sticks.
chairs. Hi.
Hello.
I feel very fancy right now. How about you?
Oh, I love it. I love it. This is very exciting. I have butterflies.
You have butterflies.
Yeah.
Kata Sasvari, who are you?
I am a photographer, and I was born in Hungary. And I came to the United States 10 years ago. And I had many adventures before I got here, and different adventures since I'm here.
Well, and your photography journey was really unique because primarily it was as a hobby.
How it started is when I met Talk Stalking in 2008, it was pretty easy to figure out that we are a good team together. And in a very short 6 months, I moved to the United States and opened the music school together with him. And while he was the voice of the dojo, I became the eye of the dojo. So I was taking pictures of documenting the kids. We teach lessons. We also do events for them and concerts. And while I was taking photos, I got better and I got advanced. And when I got an invitation, or actually we got an invitation from Northern Stage in 2016 to be part of the School of Rock adventure.
School of Rock.
That's when I met you.
That's the fateful day that we met. It was an enormous show, and Carol had said, hey, I've got this great idea. You should do School of Rock. Now, I do not rock. You guys, your family rocks through and through. I'm a classical musician. I don't like it to be too loud. I think electric guitars can be a little grating. And so
You're a cello player.
I played the cello. So when we were working on School of Rock together, we were both sort of out of our comfort zone with an enormous production featuring 29 kids and a full rock band of students. And it was still one of the most legendary productions we've done with the education department to date.
Right.
People still stop me in the street and say, oh, School of Rock was my favorite.
We had no idea that theater can rock or can do anything with rock music. So having that idea basically seeded in us, and in half a year we had to figure out who is going to be casted, what role they're going to be casted. It was just such a whirlwind for us, like not just, okay, now you are doing something musical, but also with actors and children actors and with a team that you've never worked with. And that 6 months was life-changing for both me and Tuck. And
for me.
And yes.
And for me. And then as the eye of the dojo, you were in Northern Stage throughout that entire process, taking the most exquisite photos. And after that project was done, we were like, I really wanted you to continue taking photos of the shows that we were directing here at Northern Stage. And you've taken photos of 5 or 6 productions now.
Yes,
and
somewhere around there.
Some of the Youth Ensemble Studio.
Yes. The most grabbing one for me was The Witch and the
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yes. That was in the rehearsal space, and that was so emotionally charged through the whole hour and a half that the kids were playing that my heart was beating with them. I was on the floor with them when they were like looking for their siblings, or when they got lost, or when they were enchanted by the witch. And it was just, I was so close to them also.
Yes.
I could feel their feelings, and I think that was the point when it started to, my eyes started to see more of the art than just what's happening in front of me. It was more like, look at the line, look at the lights, look at that little necklace, look at the little parts that I wouldn't be able to see on the main stage necessarily if I'm taking photos around that production. And I think that was the tipping point for me. Like, there's more in this than just taking photos of actors. It was more. You were
finding compositional art in your. One of my favorite photos that you have is actually being shown in your exhibition, and it's the witch casting her spell on Edmund while he's eating Turkish delight. And you decided to catch just her heels and this swath of
And you
tulle,
don't see the face.
and you don't see the faces.
Yes, you just feel the emotion, like something magical, maybe not in a good light, magical happening, and you just want to help that kid. Just come out from that whale, come out and let me save you. And I think that's the power in acting and the lights and whatever you are putting together for these kids. It's opening them up in ways that I never imagined could.
Well, I think that that's why your theater photography is so moving and emotional, because you're not just looking for like getting a smiling kid's face. You are looking to capture the emotional moment, to capture a snapshot of what it feels like to watch the show. So there's times when we were like, hey, let's make sure to catch this shot and this shot, and then you are just actually moving from your heart. You are dancing with those actors, running around the theater, getting close-ups, changing your lenses, responding in the moment to what you're seeing. And I love watching you take photos of the show.
Aww.
I love watching you discover an angle and a moment and then getting in there and capturing it, or seeing something that goes by too fast and being like, oh, I missed it.
You know, so many times when I take photos, I see you, I feel you, like you are telling them what to do, and you come through these faces as well, like the way how I saw you reacting to the kids, or I saw you training them to relax or to open up or to be brave or to be strong or to be vulnerable. That 1 month that I saw you just working with the kids, it was like, I can't believe this. Everybody needs an Eric Love.
Everyone needs a Kata Sasvari too, to show that beauty. And the exhibition you have up right now is actually a huge moment of pride for me personally, because you're showing a retrospective of 3 years worth of work with a lot of the same actors, and to see them grow up literally in your film and in your photos.
You know, sometimes when I go around town and I go into places and suddenly there is an actor kid coming out and they are like, oh, my photographer! I mean,
You are the personal photographer to 32 kids in the Upper Valley. Oh.
But the blush on their face, and that just tells me that they like what they are seeing, and they appreciate it. And that's a huge push for me. Like, I want to do good with that. And it is a tribute, not just for the Northern Stage team, but also for the parents who put these kids in these programs, who feel that it is important to open doors for them and to enable this creativity. That sometimes it's hard. I mean, how many hours they are rehearsing a day before Matilda?
Yeah, very intense rehearsal schedule. And in terms of Matilda, missing quite a bit of school and having to balance homework at very late hours, it's a huge sacrifice.
Right, and then all the lines and all the singing and all the super push with the dance choreography and everything. And they are moving the furniture too. So all these things they have to keep in their mind. And then they probably go home and crush at the end of the day. And so those families, that they can put up with it, and they can day after day prepare the kids to bring their best. I think that's something remarkable.
It's such a huge community effort. And I will say a fun story about families, is I've gotten many emails over the years, and a lot with Matilda specifically, saying, my kid has never been happier at home. They love this. They are so excited to go to the theater every day. They do their homework faster. They go to bed when we ask them to. They are focused on being ready for Matilda.
And I think that's a huge thing that is not, they are not here to just act as children. They are here to work. And they are expected to work and to bring really the best of them. And you're not forgiving that, oh, you are just a children, I'm going to talk to you like a children. It's like, it's a different thing. I don't know how else can I explain. What I am noticing is that they are dealt with as an individual and not like a child.
Yes.
And I think that expectation is it is making them happy because, yeah, they take me seriously here.
Yes. And what's so amazing about, just to bring it back to theater photography, is that shows are so ethereal. We work for years or months or weeks to rehearse a show, and then it's in front of an audience, and then it's gone, and all the actors and the set and props, it all disperses and will never be the same again. And so to capture a moment in time that takes you back in an authentic way is really rare, and it's really hard. And every one of your images is so supercharged. I mean, for me specifically, I think because I remember every moment that went into creating it, but also for the audience can feel that intention, that love, that care. And since theater goes by so quickly, I really think it's nice to look at an image and study it like a piece of fine art, which is what we've done with this exhibition.
Exactly.
Say, this is art.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that I appreciated so much when we got together. And okay, so what are the images that can speak volume and more than, okay, that was a scene from this musical? What are the pictures, either black and white or color pictures, that speaks to your heart, to bring out your emotions, beside just making, bringing your memories back from the musical? And when we were naming the images that night, right before hanging them, it was also very important for me, because we gave them a different suit all of a sudden. They were on their own, but in a very interesting sense, if you know what I mean.
One of my favorites is the Sea Spirits? We named it Sea Spirits from Twelfth Night, and it's that sequence where Viola and Sebastian, not identical twins, but boy-girl twins who look a lot alike, almost identical, are separated in a storm and almost drown. And the greens and purples and the shadows that you've created are endlessly mysterious. And to see it rendered in a large way, in a long way, like a very interesting dimension, and then really high up, it's very mysterious and captivating. So after taking photos for at least 6 productions over the last 2.5, 3 years, how did you go about picking your favorite images for this exhibition? I mean, that sounds like a real daunting task.
Right. So how I did it is I went through all the galleries of each production, and I grabbed everything that the energy spoke to me, or it brought me back to a memory. And then I put it in one folder, and I brought it over to you.
Oh,
and
yes.
That's when the fun started, because then we picked them apart. We really were digging in to which are the best of the best
of the best
that can hold by themselves the message, the emotions, the attention, the focus of the
You're
viewer.
right. I remember that saying, if the audience has no idea what this production is and has no context for the piece, could this be emotionally meaningful for them?
Right.
And that was such an amazing lens to put on it. And also, when you have photos for marketing purposes, most of the time we're looking for things that have a lot of people or have big smiles or something really flashy. These photos, a lot of them are more intimate details.
Yes.
More private moments that have been captured on stage.
One of the fun part for this journey was to bring these images into black and white.
Oh yes, tell me, because that's a unique thing for you. I mean, not that other photographers don't explore black and white, but I remember the first time, you think it was with Twelfth Night, you said, Eric, I need you to see some of these photos in black and white. They speak
It was
very
the witch,
clearly.
the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe.
That you really got going on.
And so one of the reasons why I was always trying to be as pure to the theater as possible, because this is your resume as a lighting artist for the theater, or as a costume designer. So I didn't alter anything. I was just bringing the theater, the image that I saw on stage. And the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe showed me, because the emotions that I was talking about, like I was right there in every single kid's skin. I wanted to show that to you, that there is more in here than just the images. There are more, and I could only show that through black and white. And that was the first time I dared to, okay, what do you think? It's not colored, and it's like totally raw. Like, this is the feeling that I'm capturing. And I think that that was also a very big turning
point for you.
And for you as well. Like, oh my God, look at these images. They are different. They are a story. They are telling something. So,
well, the portraits in the black and white series of Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, I'm thinking of
The Loss,
Emma Newman with the snow in her hair and the fur. I'm thinking of Cordelia's portrait, where it looks like she's begging with a cup, but it's a mug from the beaver's den. I'm thinking of Alicia sprawled out on the floor.
Yeah, the sacrifice. That is one of my favorite images. You don't see much, but you see everything.
And you feel the devastation. I love, there's one of Lyric looking out into the distance, and
the
Will
whisperer,
right behind her, seeing the same thing as she is, and it's just like, because they're children. They are children, and they are so incredible, and they're so professional. And what's hard is that you capture this moment where they are doing extraordinary things, and then the show is over and they are back to being 12-year-olds.
Right.
And it's like,
wait, you just died on the floor. Like, how can you be bubbly the next moment? And it just blew my mind, totally blew my mind. And then I see it over and over again, every time I come here.
A different version, a different work with the kids. I mean, that's, for me, it can be hard when a show closes, because it's like, well, that was amazing, and how are we ever going to match this? And I say we have to look for the new story, and being true to this journey and finding those moments of beauty.
I also think that my photography is strong because I have not seen these productions before. So when I see it the first time, I experience it with such innocence, and that brings the viewer the same feeling, like, look at this, and I want to go closer. If I don't have that feeling what I want to give, then I get closer, and I can get a different angle, and I go after them. It's not just, well, you passed, this is over now. It's more like, no, there is something. Remember when we were shooting the James and the Giant Peach, and all of a sudden these umbrellas and orange lights were just appearing from the vom entrance. And I was like, wait a second, what's going on here? So after the whole
show, you've never done this before for anything else.
I need to do this
again
because I want to be ready, and I know where I have to be now, so I can capture. And there it is, the inner peach. It's just such a intimate image
that photo to me is so arresting for a few reasons. One is I had been dreaming about that moment of peach light and umbrellas coming from the vom for months. And whenever I talked about it to other people, they're like, what are you talking about? Like, I have no idea what you want to do here. But then you saw that silhouette. And the idea with those peach umbrellas is that is the moment where James is crawling inside the peach, but you found a shadow that actually showed James already inside the peach, and the Lada Lord is the grown-up Roald Dahl is the narrator, who was James. Like, the idea was that, so you actually have the silhouette of the person in the play who's grown-up James. So it really is James in the giant peach, but then you have these two lights above the umbrellas that to me are like glowing eyes, piercing through your soul and daring you to look at this photo.
And so that always reminds me that if you see something, go after it. Like, don't just let it be, and don't, as a photographer, I see it more and more often, like, if you feel there is something in there, don't drop it. Don't just talk yourself out of it like there is no time or what. You need to go back and ask, is that okay? And it's not just theater photography, it's every kind of photography. Like, because these moments are going to be remembered, and that's that's big.
It's so special.
And look at that, now it's on an exhibition. I've never thought that I will exhibit it at Northern Stage, or I will be the photographer at Northern Stage. It's like mind-blowing.
Well, I've got a lot more shows in my brain ready to share with the community and with the children and with you. So I hope you're ready to keep
ready.
clicking.
Yes.
And keep bringing your artistry merging with our artistry. So I want to do a little thank you to Chico, our amazing videographer, and CATV for taking the time to talk with us about this. It's really an exciting story to tell, so we're really grateful for them.
Yes, thank you, Chico. And I also want to say thank you for you to take away some time from your busy day.
This is my favorite part of my day. This is such an exciting part of the day. And what was really, I was so fun to see the children arriving for the Matilda matinee behind us throughout our session in these big school buses. So thank you, Kata Sasvari, for your vision, your genius eye for detail, and for your love.
Oh, you!
Kata,
You gonna sing to me too? Yay!
who's that woman, barely 5'4"?
Actually, 4'11".
4'11", runs around the theater, taking